That's better. It helps if I turn my headset on. Wondered why I couldn't hear anything or see any mic input going on. All right, so we're going to do some Space Engineers. All right, so last time on Space Engineers, we built up our ship. We got it printed out. Awesome. Welcome in, Charlie B. So last time we printed the ship after we tore down the ship. So we got a lot of stuff to do on it. As far as kind of getting it really ready. It also needs painted, but we need to kind of configure all the pieces on the inside, get everything kind of labeled. Actually need to come up with a name for it. Oh, I was supposed to be thinking about that since the last time I played, and I have not, so that's going to be important. But yeah, we'll and we also need to figure out how to get this connected up to the base. Which we'll have to put a little connector right there just so we can transfer hydrogen, whatnot, into it. But I think the way we'll start today, let's go here and we're going to grab this unknown signal. It's a good way to start. We'll probably run our acquisition missions, kind of drop our stuff off, get paid, and then start working on the ship. Rainbow gloves. There we go. Incidents? I think not. Also, I am up for suggestions for names of the ship. If anything comes to mind. Land, drop off our stuff. We're also making a whole bunch of stuff. Trying to keep up with the demand of printing the big ship. Hydrogen. We'll put the weapons in the weapon locker where they belong. That is kind of one thing on the big ship. We don't really have like small storage spaces like the armories and stuff. Really, I just couldn't fit them in with the design as it was kind of working out, which is unfortunate. So it doesn't have a lot of like decorations. But we'll maybe take a little tour of it once we come back from dropping off all of our mission stuff. So we'll go grab the ore manually. 23 hydrogen bottles. So for that, we want to turn off all of our hydrogen tanks. We actually don't have to worry about those because that's on the... Oh no! Apparently, there's a couple hydrogen generators that didn't get finished building. I thought I checked for everything last time. I didn't notice those. Oh, we'll have to come back and fix those. Those are on the big ship. Base hydrogen tank. Just turn that off. And these are on the ship. Then we have, let's turn that tank off. Measure. Should actually be another. Oh, right there. 1 and 2. And then let's turn off. Did we name them correctly? Did we make base? Alright, we gotta do it out of the ship. We got too many things now that are not labeled. Needs to be turned off. Turned off. Probably also need to be renamed. 1, 2. Yeah. That one's off. It's off. There's on, which is okay. This needs to be renamed to base O2 generator. It's just and base. You can already see like how difficult this is. It's even harder with the way we have the ship built because it's still technically attached to the base, so it's going to be colored the same as all the base grids. It's even harder to tell them apart. Same with assembler, so we gotta make sure we get the right one. We need 23 hydrogen bottles. 870 interior plate. And I would expect us to have all this stuff because we just made a whole bunch of stuff. Hopefully we have it all. 70. $26 canvas. No, we don't have canvas, so we can make it. Six. 29 solar panels. We may have those. Well, oh, yeah. Got tons. Actually, 28 solar panels? I've already forgotten. Let's see what that was again. 29. That would be frustrating. Just here. Head gets real big for a second. Go. I like most of my computer desk, but I like having an L shape, but like the height is really weird, so sometimes there's no place for my arm to go that it's comfortable. I have to squirm around a whole lot. So let's grab those. You know what, while we're in here, how much was that? 265 nickel. While we have some in the refinery, we can just take it. And it won't pull it out of our personal pockets, but it would pull it out of any storage pockets that we had, or any cargo area we had it in. 874 steel plate. Okay. Or shoot, can't carry 874 steel plate. Let's move some of this to a connector can. Let's just move this and this. That should give us enough space for 874. Yeah, cool. Alright, let's fly this over. Charlie B, I don't know if you're still in here or not, but we did find some in-flight music last time that we could play. So I don't know if you got to hear it or not. Let's see if I can turn it up. So yeah, that's our new in-flight music. We did that. We got the speed pretty dead on for that. That was cool. That worked out. Yep. Let's go ahead and just leave the batteries on. They're gonna need to be on anyway when we ready to leave. So no harm, no foul, leaving them going. Good pistol. Easier, can we? Oh, there's glass there anyway. I couldn't go through it. All right. Let's take our missions. Finish these. We put quite a few missions last time, so what? Did I not make enough of them? I'll have to double check that. Maybe I didn't move them over. All right, let's see if there's any like really good ones that we want. Need to check to see if we can make reactor components. I don't know if we can. That wouldn't be bad. We just made a bunch of those, but we're gonna make sure there's nothing good in here that we need. Nothing crazy. Let's see what more we can pilfer. Oh. Sesame. Okay. Let's look here. Why do we have enough canvas on us? Did we move it to the wrong? Oh, we can't reach the base from here. It's because our antenna's not on. Must be too far away. That's a shame. I was gonna see if we left it in the wrong spot, because I don't see any canvas. I need to turn off the marker there. We don't need that. And we'll make our way back to the base. Slow down here before we run into something. Parking spot. Really need to figure out a better way to line that up so that I don't have to go into the weird third-person view to do it every time. Now, what happened to those canvas that made? What? Only 5 canvas. Well, don't understand. The solar cells, where'd those go? All right. Solar. What? Did this stuff just disappear? I don't. Put it in a connector. And maybe hold it back in, but we had 25 canvas. All right, whatever. Let's make some more. All right, so make 20 more canvas. Yes. Like, I'm ready to go back and look and see if I'm just going nuts. I was pretty confident. Okay. It's 29 solar cells. Check that. 21. Okay, never mind. I'm just going nuts. We'll just clip that out of the video later. Edit all of that mistake out because I apparently have no clue what I'm talking about. 17 explosives. Almost positive we have no explosives, but let's just double check. Not see any. Let's make 20. Just make it easy. Oh. Helps if I move it to a place that it can actually be. Oh. 708 glass. Actually don't have enough. Need 200 more. Like a couple hundred more. We're not completely emptying the base. 251 cobalt. One. 21 nickel. 46 detector components. And 46. Okay. What did we say we need? 708 glass? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 items. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 708. Back. Let's try this again. And then we'll do our do this delivery, we'll up our acquisition contracts, and then we'll make sure there's nothing wild that we need. If we have to like go get mining or anything, I don't think we will. But then we can start working on the ship itself. I think we're off course a little bit, but no, we should be pretty good right here. Wait, why does my stream still say I'm playing Brotato? Yeah, we're definitely not playing Brotato. Those are fine tags. Okay, that's better. That was weird. I wonder if Streamlabs is not... There's nothing I can really do about it at the moment, but I wonder if Streamlabs is not properly configured or logged in. It likes to log me out a lot. Let's just go with that though for now. That at least gets us in the right category. You know, we never claim to actually know what the heck we're doing, so I think we'll give ourselves a little bit of a pass on that. We also need to remember to heal up and fill our hydrogen when we get back to base. Oh. Good. Battery. Probably won't be anything. Oh. We were gone just long enough for it to get a new update cycle. Or we hit it just right. It wasn't so much that we were gone that long. Which, for better or worse, should mean that the contracts are now different. Or a bunch of them, so hopefully there's still a bunch of them. Because beyond just getting money, which we like money, can become very handy, especially once we get into space. If we need stuff, resources might be hard to find. But they're also, well, no, it's the same one. They're also giving us reputation points with this specific faction. So, in theory, we'll get better prices from them if we do need to buy stuff. And I think potentially better contract prices, maybe? Not sure about that. Let's... Oh, nope, see, there is quite a few less now. We'll definitely do that gold one, though. That's a lot of money for something that we can definitely do. Sure. Stuff. May as well do these little ones. Oh, more data pads. Now, the last ones we bought, they were all duplicates. But we're going to buy all of these again because it's cheap. Just in case. And by duplicates, I mean they were not duplicates of themselves, but they were, there's no new bases, no new coordinates for us. Which, not a huge deal. We got a couple. We know we're headed towards the moon when we get out of here, out of this point, off of Earth. It would just be nice if we already kind of had a destination in mind. Actually, probably as soon as we get off planet, we're probably going to build, try to find an asteroid to build on and build ourselves a little space base. And then we'll go to the moon. It can be kind of handy to have some bases just a little bit out of gravity of the planets, kind of work as a way station. If we need to go up and down from, we can essentially build like a small kind of lander that takes us back and forth. Which that might be part of the project, so we can kind of come and go from the planet as we need to without taking our whole big ship in and out of gravity, because that will be very resource expensive. It's going to take quite a bit of hydrogen to get us off world in that ship. But if we just have like a small ship, something maybe the size of this, to transport with a little bit of cargo, so we can move stuff back and forth. That's not too bad. And land. Okay. So there's nothing Gold. 173. Do we have 173 gold? We do. But it might be worth getting another batch of gold so that we have it. Oh, we need to turn those back on. Turn that back on. Now we could do SA timer. Take off. Set of actions. We did the stockpile on the tank, but we might, just for good measure, make sure the tank is turned on. Now, let's grab our gold marker. If I remember right, this is the one that's in the side of the mountain over here. Partly, we're not going to do this because we're trying to leave the planet, but there's definitely a part of me that's tempted to build a mining rover that could drive into this area to mine this gold, because it'd probably be a lot more efficient than trying to fly into the side of the mountain. Let's go ahead and lights on, turn our projector on, and let's go ahead and turn our ejectors on. What are we ejecting? Why do we still have a bunch of nickel? No, we're here now. We're gonna get some gold. Oops. Didn't damage anything. Doesn't look like it. Everything's still looks like everything is still intact. Let's start digging. Exciting mining content. I almost said a not correct thing there, and I'm glad I didn't, because I don't want to have to clip myself saying it, because it could have been very, very bad taken out of context. It is unfortunate nobody's here to laugh at that, though. We need to widen this cave up, which is another reason why a rover might be really cool. If we were going to stay here and mine out more of this, I think a rover would actually be a good choice. it. So we could essentially drive up in here. We could have our drills kind of on hinges and just like raise and lower and kind of, especially if we were underneath it, because we kind of came in underneath the vein. So we wouldn't have to worry about mining down. We just keep it nice and level. We'd even build like a little mining platform to make sure we stayed level. Road. Maybe as we come back to planet, or if we decide we need more of this gold, maybe that will be the thing that we do. But for now, this is probably not needed. We'll be able to find gold, essentially everything in space. It's not like we need this to survive in space or anything. Kind of pushing it here a little bit just because I know that we can hold quite a bit more. That's a fair bit of gold though. As I tell you what, let's go ahead and just turn off the, we'll process the stone as well. Why not? Again, this was all just to make sure we had some extra gold. This gold is very valuable. Oh. A little bit of angle can go a long way. About every aspect of life in this. Back to base. This can all start to process up. I'm nervous about we might put a temporary landing gear or something, gears plural, on the big ship so that when we connect it to the base, maybe it doesn't just like immediately fall. It shouldn't, but it will definitely look like it should. Yep. Fire trucks going down the road outside apparently. Those don't happen very often. Alright, let's do this too. This ship. Refinery. Get this stone out of the way. Then so go ahead and pull everything out and into a cargo container. That's better. So it doesn't have a bunch of stuff in it. We said we were going to heal and refill our hydrogen last time. We forgot that now. Hydrogen. All right. We're going to do a sneaky little thing here. So we're going to change. Oh, I never changed them back. Good. So these are all red. Here, colored red. That is not the default color for a newly added marker. New markers are blue. So what we can do is come in here, take a look at these. Some conflict between two factions, that's fuel debris. And again, I think we've read all these before. I think these are probably all going to be duplicates. So we're just gonna... There's a guy. Heals. To visit a place on a regular basis. And there's only a handful of these. These are all kind of absolutely a duplicate. Yeah. Then we can come over here and look, see any of these are not red. Nope, they all are. Yeah. So if any of those were not red, they would have been new. And they may not be exact duplicates. But, okay. We'll worry about organizing those some other day. Alright, so we need this connector to connect up. Now, luckily, it's on a piston, so we can extend that if we need to. We probably will, because this is probably going to be our connection block. And this is probably how we'll get it connected. So, I want to make sure that we don't drop this whole thing. What we're going to do is enforce it right here. Why do I not have steel? Oh, because they were pulling small ones, that's why. Alright. That's fine. Nope. Alright, so basically have the scaffolding now. Right now, let's just do that. So, now we can cut this block out. And we can make that block a connector. Let's make it this connector. Doesn't really matter. Make it that connector. Okay. Now that can get cut. And conveyor it. C-shaped conveyor. Like that. Okay. Then we cut this out. make that a T-block conveyor. Do we have enough parts? We don't. On it. Alright. Now we'll be able to connect the ship to there. Before we do that, I do want to see if we can find the O2 gens that are not completed. Let's show on HUD and show on HUD. Now we should be able to get a map mark, there we go, marker that shows where they are. Got too many map markers on, so now their stuff's getting in the way. Let's turn off that. That'll help. It's the one that's confusing us. By us, I mean me. I buried these things in the ship. Should be like right here. There's one here. And there's going to be one over here. It's right there. Oh. It's a hydrogen tank. Where'd you go? Right, let's see, maybe from the inside, maybe it'd be easier. We just have to take a floor out. Although that's going to be several floor blocks. But right there. Okay. Let's go grab. I guess it won't be that bad because the projector's still on. There now. Projector will help us put all this stuff back in place. So there's that one. Doesn't get showed on HUD anymore. Okay, where'd the other one go? On the other side. So it's here. Here too. That'd be easier to get it. Here? Where are you at? Where, oh where? This, if we were ever to print this again, this ship, there may be some things we'd have to do a little different. Although I think most of this is because we ran out of parts. We just need to have more parts available to us. Okay. Excellent. Ow. So now we can turn that off. What? HUD. We also had a battery that we had to do this with, so there's a battery that's also showing on our HUD. that off. Those are charging slowly, but they are charging. Partly because our refinery is working. That's causing a lot of power usage. Right, so I have a small concern that when we hook this up, there will actually be too much strain on that connector and it will cause it to break. Also slightly concerned that when you hook a subgrid to the main grid like this, it can cause some undesired effects, i.e. it explodes. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm thinking of maybe putting a couple landing gear to support this. It's probably unnecessary, but it'll look good. It'll make it look better, I guess. If I put, say, a landing gear here and here, okay. This is all probably overly cautious. And partly because I haven't decided on a name yet and trying to kill kind of some time so I can think. Now, slap landing gears. Endings, if we want. We could just do like small. Magnetic plates. Let's do actual feet. It'll let us. Those look more supportive. Right, so now what we do is give this like a nice slow velocity until that changes color. And or stops moving. Oh, I didn't mean to auto lock. I don't actually want auto lock on. But that's kind of where I want it. But we're going to move it just a touch more. Oh, I think that may have been moving things. Yeah, that's not what we want. Let's back that off a little bit. Yeah, there is an amount of flex. That these things can have. Like we're actually putting strain on the block. So I don't like that because I am worried that it's going to like want to see just a touch of air. Yeah, let's try that. That's like 1.5. So this will also be like 1.5. I'm glad I turned auto lock off and it stayed on. Which technically would be fine. As long as it's locked to the ground, it is locked, so it wouldn't matter. But go close enough. Okay, so now we can lock that. Lock that. Now we can actually, this is the critical moment. I said earlier we weren't going to save scum. This might be the exception. Okay. Let's slowly move this into position. We're not going to lock it just yet, though, because I want to turn my tanks off. So, I guess it doesn't matter. Start filling them. No reason not to, I guess. Okay. Close enough there. Oh. Now we need to turn all of those thrusters off. Turn all that off so there's no backwash thrusters going on. Excellent. Yeah, we might leave these feet. I wasn't. Those were not a part of the original plan, but we're already kind of adding stuff. Could be helpful. All right. Now, we've put it off essentially long enough. What do we name this? We got 8 little nodes. Fairly blocky and bulky. I mean, the kind of the visuals here, like a one camera and the way the remote kind of block is, stuff like a Cyclops kind of comes to mind. I don't know how I feel about that. Would go with refill our hydrogen again. Just a bunch. Let's also okay. Range of that is real high. This should be the base remote. But we should have been able to remote into the base when we were over at the station. I don't know why we couldn't. Like, we should be able to, like, right here. Our antenna's on. Like, we can remote in and look at stuff and see stuff on the base. I don't know why we couldn't. And I understand why we won't see anything else, because everything's connected to it, so it's going to run through that one. Why is that antenna on? Oh, because, well, no, that should have went off when we... the timer block for that. When we connect... Should have turned it off when we connected. Weird. Why that's on? But we're gonna turn it off. Actually, it looked like the connection. It didn't work. Let's unlock lock. There we go. Somehow that timer block got triggered. How did that happen? Because nothing else should be named that. These are all named properly. Yeah, must just been the fact of game load, unload. That can happen. You can do some weird stuff at times. There's it. There we go. Realistically, this is an escape vessel. This is an exploration vessel. Another thing we could do is paint it while we try to figure that out. Let's grab our paint gun. Figure out what kind of color scheme we want for this guy. That might also help. Since we don't have the name first, it might help to put some colors on it. That might give us a name. Put our excess guns away. That stuff can go in here. Let's see here. let's start by making sure everything is uniform. I think we're gonna go with a clean armor. I think maybe this darker gray as a base. Okay, so now the whole thing is that base color. A little darker than I maybe intended. Is there a slightly lighter version of that? Just a little bit. That look. Just a little lighter. Now, what if we did like a blue, but a darker blue? Into a purple. Dark like that. And then we do strips, or maybe we paint the hubs. Grab our here. So maybe paint like. The thing we'll have to remember too is some of these will be visible on the inside and some won't be. Like none of the, what is that? Not as dark as I'd want it, and I don't know that I like, oh, because this is the wrong, what's the, shift? Yeah, it painted the wrong texture. Still, I don't think this is as dark as I wanted it. I'm thinking more of like a midnight purple. That's just not quite as dark as I wanted. Let's darken that. That's too dark. That's almost just black. Might also just be a little more purple than I want. That'd be part of the problem. What? Yeah, there we go. There, I think that's closer to what I'm looking for. This would be that color. Which now I'm thinking maybe I make, no, that's fine. So maybe I make this the default color, but no. We'll also have to kind of see what that looks like on the inside. So that works well. We will definitely see this on the inside, so kind of what the inside color is going to have to be. Here. Oh, the one thing we forgot to. Oh no, never mind. There's lights. I was saying we forgot to put lights on. We didn't. Okay. Not bad. That color. What's going on here? Why is... I don't understand why that block is... Oh, because it's a whole different type of block. That's why. Okay. Yeah, that makes more sense. Alright, so if we're going to go with that color... then... would a slightly lighter blue make sense for the nubs? Maybe. Paint gun mod is so convenient. The paint gun mod is so nice that Space Engineers 2 has it by default. I think it's such a popular mod that they realized, yeah, that was something that was kind of missing in the game. It works really well. At least the little bit of time we got to play with it. This one. Let's do this side. Definitely gonna need maybe even a fourth color. It's just a lot of blue. They need something to kind of break that up. dark side, this doesn't really have a lot of contrast. It's close to the same color. Alright, what? If I do this, wrap that color. So we need to come around here. I think the rear here should be at least partly the same color. We need let's make that one all the same. Okay. UI. Maybe I'll make these inner panels here. Do like a like an almost white. That looks like. What about painting this whole thing that darker gray color? Now I'm gonna essentially do that. That's the key. Not too bad. Really kind of makes those stand out as like some sort of like tacked on module almost, I guess. Lack of a better word. Do this side. This side we're gonna do the thrusters because those will Those may just stay darker, honestly. Darn it. Still way easier to do and fix than I was trying to do just the block. Yep. Paint gun still way better for this. Really, I just need to take a second to make sure I'm pointing at the right thing. I was trying to rush it. Okay. That's not terrible. I wish we weren't having a snowstorm right now, but man, I think I'd leave the thrusters that color. I need to figure out what to do back here. I think that all gets, I think it all has to be blue. Oh, no ammo. I used up a lot of that. Luckily, it just needs gravel, which we should have a bunch of, so. Nice that they used gravel as a material, since there's very little other use for it. Reactor components are, I think, the only other thing that takes gravel. I mean, what would be really cool, and it's still this. SE2 still doesn't even do this, but it would be kind of neat if. Let's leave that correct. It'd be kind of neat if I could paint the base of a block, opposed to the entirety of the block. Because I'd really like to, have like this floor a different color. But what I could do, I guess, is come back to my whitish color. We could also get some hydrogen before we fall out of the sky and die.
Fuel low. Fuel critical.
So you have fuel. What you could do is paint the battery. The door's fine. Light's actually fine too, better than the door. Actually, it's probably good that the light was there. I'd like to paint the battery behind these panels. not bad. Although, I think I might prefer... that. Door is white. Okay, how about the front of the ship? Got our blue locked in, dark blue locked in right now. Need our white for that, I think. Grab it. Those should have been white. Means that needs to be white. This does. And we'll probably come back once we're launched and put more landing gear on this side. We just can't do it right now with this in the way. Might be able to, but I don't want to mess with that, so it's just easier once we're in space. That block. Wait. Same with this block. That over here as well. I think we're going to paint the top of this pretty much a blue color. That's fine. That's not what the block I wanted, but that's the block I wanted. And painting any of these is not a big deal. There's not a lot of coloration on them anyway, so who cares? I don't think we're going to paint the refinery. I think we're going to paint these.
Energy low.
These. This. We might actually, that antenna looks out of place, that color. Paint it. Let's grab our white real quick. we want to make the door white. It's all covered, so yep. Probably no. Let's grab some power here. Like that. Yeah, we might make these windows white. We probably want them dark. They should probably also be the dark blue. And like this could be white. The couch could be white. But I think the window rim, essentially. I think the blue is better. Hey, Johnson? Yeah, always need more power. What's going on, man? How you doing tonight? Johnny, nice to meet you, man. Yeah, we're just kind of getting a ship ready to head off into space. Obviously just doing a little painting, you know. The most important part of ship design is paint. I am not a very good one for this, but you know, we're messing around, having a good time with it. Mostly I'm doing this to put off the fact that I don't have a name yet for the ship. So I'm kind of trying to just kill that time while I figure out what I actually want to name the ship so that I can do all the fun administrative work of renaming every piece and getting my groups put together, and all the automation and stuff. I figured, hey, we'll do some paint while I procrastinate on that. Yeah. I think we're going to leave the thrusters kind of that darker gray. Wouldn't mind painting the tanks though. Something that would maybe look nice. Maybe do the darker gray on those, or darker blue on those too. If we can grab it. So, Johnny, are you a Space Engineers player? You just kind of popping through and seeing what's going on? Awesome. Yeah, I would not say that I am particularly good at the game, but I have enjoyed my time playing it. Spent a fair bit on it. Yeah, it's not like there's no challenge to the game. It's more just the building and I guess the challenges you make for yourself. put yourself in really awkward positions you have to engineer a way out of. Just like this. So yeah, I started to design a ship, and it just wasn't coming together well. So I went in creative mode and built this out, but not in this world, in another world. So then got my projector and was gonna project it and build it. Started doing it by hand, and that just wasn't working. So then I built this as a little welding ship, and I was going to weld it by that, and that didn't really work. So I built too much of it though to just ditch it. So I ended up building a giant grinder wall, chewed the whole thing up, replaced them all with welders, so I could essentially print the whole thing out, which ended up working. A whole bunch of engineering, or just, in theory, I could have just copy and pasted it into the world and been done. But that's boring. You gotta mix it up, find silly ways to make it. Exactly, it's cheating. I can't be doing that in this single player game that it's kind of like, yeah, it definitely was cheating though. Wouldn't want that at all. That's what we're painting that. Maybe we do those blocks. Yeah, it's kind of like almost the silly role play you put in for yourselves. Like I spent way too long designing this ship out and annoyed because I couldn't fit a bathroom in here, particularly in the med bay. Like I wanted to have a shower and bathroom in here. It just wasn't working out. And it's like there's, zero use or need for that, but I just really wanted to, gotta have that. How are we gonna have a ship and not have a bathroom? We'll have to deal with that for a little bit, unfortunately. Yeah. So I did pick up SE2. Definitely not worth buying yet. It is very limited space Legos, but I haven't got to mess with the whole. I was actually having trouble with it crashing, but I have a new video card now, and I think that might help. So I need to kind of go back in and see. But yeah, it was very, very limited. Yeah, it's super early. But I'm hoping, there's the roadmap is pretty impressive with the stuff they're wanting to do. So hopefully it all kind of comes together. I think it has the potential to be really cool. Just even the shoot, that should be that blue. Even just the unified grid stuff is like that just seems awesome. There's so many things that you could do with that, you just can't do. Like these sorts of like large grid ships will be really cool with the unified system, I think. Yeah. And one thing I was saying that I kind of wished, and I didn't. This isn't an SE2 either, I don't think. But it'd be nice if I could paint like the faces of blocks rather than the whole block. I understand why that would probably be a nightmare to keep track of, but it'd be really cool because I'd like to, like here, I'd like for these to be blue, but I'd like for this to be white. Well, I guess maybe not as big of a deal with the new system because you could probably build some faces on that. And make it work. Those to be blue. Yeah, and it's like you can't in SE2 that won't be a big deal. Here it is because I put these panels on, so I can't put anything on top of these blocks now. Plus I have a light here. It's like, yeah, you had to make that choice. But yeah, in SE2 we'll be able to just put a catwalk on that, which would look even better. Just a painted block, which have some texture to it. I think let's grab this blue color. I think we'll go ahead and do these walls in blue as well. See if that looks too dark. And I'll be happy I won't have to do something like this for my server room, where I had to do a conversion to small grid, so I didn't have to put all these blocks in somewhere else. That'd be nice to not have to do weird stuff like that, make that work. You know what? I like that better in the other color. Back to gray. And I think we'll make those white. Kind of match what's going on. Yeah, like that. Lets that line of color come all the way through. Good. That means this really should be white. Might be too much, but it's gotta stay blue. Okay. And white is the walkway. And it'll help once we get this light better, I think. That's the ceiling blocks here. Those need to be blue. Well, if we keep these white. And go back to this blue color. Go. That's not bad. Doorways. All the other doorways have been white, so that's blue. Yep. This will make the stairs white. Door white. That block. See it anywhere? This one. Yeah, I guess white it is. Good or not, I think that's. I need to look at the bridge, make sure it's good, but that should be everything painted. Yeah. All right. That. Good. Nah, we're just gonna leave that gray. How about changing the? Oh, should I do these? That would make sense. I think make the bed white. That'll be. Oh, that's not the right color. That's the color. Just gonna leave that behind it gray. All right. That might be good enough. I'm sure we've missed a block somewhere, and we left a lot of this gray under here, but that's intentional. Mechanics, essentially. And there's some blocks that we just can't get to. There's blocks behind this battery and behind this battery, but fine. So now we need to set some stuff up. And before we do that, gotta pick a name. Oh, that's not a good sign. Actually, no, we that's good. Yeah, we're jiggling because we're sitting on subgrids, which is good. That means we're a mobile grid. I was worried we were stuck as a station. Don't want to be stuck as a station. All right, let's see here. See a bunch of other stuff. We might actually disconnect. For now. There we go. That way we only see our stuff. Let's name this all blue. Makes me think of the water. This is the space whale. Need that because we're going to rename everything with a prefix. So we know when we're docked with stuff what we're looking at. This is the super interesting part of just boring renaming. But once we have this all renamed, then we can, one of the first things we can do is set up the airlocks. Which will be button-driven systems to make sure we don't decompress ourselves. Yeah, the administrative parts of Space Engineer super thrilling. But I've learned over time too that, like, as boring and tedious as this is, it is worse when you don't do it. especially something like this where this is kind of the plans. This is going to be our ship that gets us off this planet and we start exploring space. So we're going to piece stuff onto it. We'll probably have some other ships that connect to it at some point. And when you start connecting all that stuff up, it's so hard to track what is what. Or the funness of having things named the same on multiple ships that then dock and you're accidentally controlling the wrong thing because they're named the same. That's always fun. Trying to figure out why thrusters are turning on and off randomly. Skip the thrusters for just a second. Skipping the thrusters because I'm wanting to probably take the numbering off the thrusters. I don't know why I always do that, but I do. Probably shouldn't. Actually, I probably shouldn't. If we ever have to fix these, it's going to be a nightmare. Maybe we'll leave the numbers this time. So Johnny, do you play mostly single player? You do multiplayer stuff? I've never done multiplayer. It's always just been single player kind of experience for me. I do know there are dedicated servers out in the world for this stuff. Okay. Yeah, yeah, because like I said, this is just a building game. It doesn't really have a lot else. It's kind of I treat it like Space Legos itself. I kind of wouldn't mind if they did another, or I guess I shouldn't say they, go to the community probably and pull out some of the scenarios. A couple of the scenarios are actually pretty good. Definitely some frustrating bits in some of them, but oddly enough, I think the getting started, the kind of tutorial scenario is actually fun. I played through that quite a few times. Actually, I just kind of jumped in the game, was messing around, I didn't realize what it was, and then went back to it. It helped a lot. Like, man, there's a lot of stuff there I was doing wrong. I think I played through that 3 or 4 times. There's definitely some interesting mods for the game as well. I'm only running a couple. We saw the paint gun. That one's kind of a real nice one. Sneaky sounds, so the tools are a little less loud all the time, always. I have one for, oops. What's it called? Radio telegraphy. Basically, I can scan asteroids in space for materials. Not what it's called, but it's nice. So you don't have to fly right up to an asteroid or explore it the same way. You kind of get an idea of what's on it before you get there. I think that might be the only. Oh, no, I have build vision. Build vision's it's very helpful, especially in single player. There's just some stuff that's like, it'd be nice if I could tell somebody, to turn this piston on or off or whatever, but trying to do it by yourself can be a pain to try to run around back and forth and do it. So that really helps. All right. I don't know why I got out of the seat. Name everything. All right, so let's start grouping stuff. So all of our thrusters are going to be thrusters. Then we want, so if we're going to be on planets, I would normally pull my backward thrusters so I could coast going straight, but this is going to mostly be a space vessel. What we do want though are our down thrusters, no, our up thrusters. There, because we're going to use a group to kind of control our overrides for getting out of gravity. That'll be weird to have that. We may end up taking the big thrusters off the bottom as well once we get into space. Although I might leave them just in case I want to come back to a planet. Now that we have that, we don't need to see this. That gets a lot. Connector, by the way, is connected. So this is connector earlier. Should have a couple of pistons. Square pistons here. This is rear connector. What? Connector. No. Front piston. Those are for the landing gear. They may or may not stay. I'm not going to be super picky with their naming right now. For right now, we can hide these because we're not going to do anything with them just yet, but they're there in case we need them. Batteries. Number them better. We don't think we're missing some. That way we can control them all at the same time. See them right now though. That's the rear camera. Just camera rear. Yeah, should be camera front. Front camera. Connector front camera. Actually can line stuff up if we need to dock. Okay. These probably need to stay visible. Oh, the lights, those are going to be a pain in the butt. Let's do. Let's think here. We need to set up the. We need to do these doors. So let's say. Just build vision, just be easier, quicker. Airlock. Oh, rear airlock. Rear airlock. Rear door. It's going to be the rear airlock. Rear door. Lock. Door. Okay. Will be the vent. Airlock. Light. That's the one with the button, right? Yeah. This is going to be the rear airlock exterior button. This will be. Nope, not the battery. Button panel. Yep. Shoot. Don't respawn. It's the tag on it. Why is that not giving me what I want? There we go. Rear airlock. Interior. Buttons. Rear airlock buttons, maybe? I don't know. That needs to be something. I don't like that name, but all right. So what we need is to group the. We don't group them, but we're going to build a timer block that we can trigger to vent this area, open the doors, and kind of get us through. So we're going to use a timer block. And this timer block is going to be rear airlock. Right? No. Pressurized. Hopefully I spelled that right. Good enough. Alright, so we actually, I think we can get away with just one here. We don't need to be too crazy, but when it's pressurized, we want the exterior door be closed. And we want the. No, we have to. I think. I've done this a couple times, it's been a while. I need specific timer blocks for just the doors. That's what we need. What this calls. This is the right. No, that's not how I want to name it. It's not what I want to do. Pressurizing. Shoot, I may need to go back and look at one of my other ones to think about how I want this logic to work. Because I can't just open and close at the same time, because it takes time to at least depressurize the airlock, or you end up, there's really no reason to do it. You'll just vent all your air. I could do a thing where we, yeah, so like, maybe if I walk myself through the process again. So basically we want this state, actually, yeah, we want this state right here, where this door is open, the vent is depressurizing, and this door is closed. You come in, we're gonna hit a button, and it closes this door. It pressurizes, and theoretically you'd want it to wait like a second or two and open that door. Come in, and these would also all be pressurized. Then I would have all these doors probably auto closing. Maybe that's the first thing I should do, is build the auto closer. But then we have a button to exit, which would close the external door, pressurize, or open this. So you don't want this to be depressurized while these doors are open, or it's just going to suck your circle your air around. Come in here, exit, closes, takes a second, opens, go out. But the trick is you need to be able to trigger the pressurization, depressurization from outside, because you might exit theoretically from this door. And so this would be in a situation where this door wouldn't be opened. So that's why it needs to all be a one button kind of. So I guess, again, if we just start building it, it'll kind of build itself. Let's grab our timer blocks again. It's all going to be timer block driven. Did I name that something other than timer? Shoot. Did. So let's think. We need a timer block that opens one door, waits, and then opens another. We could just give them each their own timer, I guess, but that doesn't really, it's not very efficient. Let's just start here. Sure. There, airlock pressurize. not air lick. That's a whole different thing. We're going to pressurize. So the first thing we're going to do is grab the vent. This all kind of happens at the same time, so it doesn't really matter. Pressurize off. And we need, we just take all the doors and close them. That's what we want to do. Close. Close. What I'd really like, again, the proper way would be to close the door and then turn it off. But if you try to turn it off and close it at the same time, it turns off generally before it gets all the way closed, and then it doesn't finish closing. So we kind of just have to be careful. All right, so when we pressurize, close doors, those come on. Then we need to wait a certain amount of time and open the interior door. So let's grab a different timer block. This one. Hey, Charlie B. So we got the whole ship painted. You came in at probably the most tedious part of this. We were renaming everything, and now we're building an airlock system with the timer blocks. And I'm forgetting entirely how to do it, so I'm having to kind of re-remember as I do it, the actual process. So when it is pressurized, that's probably fine. I'm going to, again, just for make sure this door is closed, which it should be. I'm going to open that door. It's going. We're slowly going to get there. And this is Johnny came in. We're talking about this. One of those deals where like I'm making the game. It's just a building game. There's no point. It's not a hard game, but I'm making it way harder than it really needs to be. Because like a lot of stuff, this just doesn't matter. But it's fun to make it work. And the whole point of the game is just do stuff unnecessarily complicated just because you can. And I think what we're going to do is take it's pressurized. I think we're going to turn off. I wish we could change the color. I guess we could make it blink versus stay on. Oh, absolutely. For me, this is very similar to like the Terraria stuff. Obviously, Terraria had way more things. It was a whole different game, but like, yeah, you built stuff just because. It didn't need to be this way, but I want it to be right. They were saying, I put a bathroom in the base, and I'm upset that there's no bathroom in the ship. The bathroom does nothing. Technically, you can charge your power on the toilet, like the shower. There's no interactable blocks. It's purely cosmetic. I'm like, you really need to have a bathroom. I should have a kitchen, have like a little galley. I guess so. I could turn the blinking on and off this way. So maybe that's what we do. Okay. What if we look at the airlock light? And make it like red? Sure. But let's make it not as powerful. We're not actually using it for light. This is a signal situation. The interval, I think. Just the interval that we want to mess with. Yeah, let's do this. So let's just set it like 2. How does that look? See that with the doors closed? Might actually need to increase that light a little bit. Let's up that to 3.5. A little more. Not really. Hit the wrong buttons. So let's maybe increase the intensity. That's what I want. Yeah, that'll work. So what I want it to be is just on when we're pressurized. Airlock pressurization. Once we're pressurized, close the doors, then we're going to grab this airlock light, and we're going to decrease the interval 0. So now it shouldn't blink anymore. Oh, it blinks all the time. Oh god, that's bad. Seizure warning. Walk away from that for a second. To be freaking anybody else happens to be looking at this. What's the light at now? Okay, the blink interval wasn't all the way down, so it needs another tick on the timer block. So let's find it. Some control. Not me. Won't, because it already thinks it's at 0. No, that's the wrong thing. Substantial. it'll let me do it once. Okay. Well, I actually thought it would let me do it multiple times. That's weird. Other stuff lets you do multiples. I thought. Do I need to just have something else in the way? Can I do another one? No. Interesting. Alright, let's... I've never actually done this bit with the lights before. This is different than how I... Normally I'd have two lights and just have a red and green for pressurized and depressurized, but I found something a little different. Alright, so that...
Energy low.
Oh my goodness. Energy low. That's the suit lady. Alright. And I may have to turn the light down a little bit because it's bleeding into our bed. Alright, so now let's make a timer block. That is timer rear airlock pressurized. And when we're depressurized, we're going to take the doors. We're going to open the exterior door. Close the interior door. Grab the light. And we're going to increase blink interval once. Let's see what that looks like. I can live with that. The blinking tells us that we are depressurized. So then if we come in here and we would say that we are pressurized. Oh. Alright, cool. Now what we want to say is pressurization is in progress. We close all the doors. Depressurization is off. And then we call the timer for pressurized. And we trigger it. I'm sorry, we start it. I'm going to come in here and give this a delay of, let's say, 2. Okay. So what would happen is we would trigger the depressurized. So this is the situation we're at. We're going to have text, edit text. Also probably shouldn't be doing this while it's blanking, but enter, exit, vent. I think we set this font size like 4, I think is what gets us. Yeah, and then I think we can align this. There's a way. Yeah, alignment. Right alignment. There we go. And button 1 is the enter button. Figure now. Alright. So if we were outside, in space, flying around, we came in here, hit the button, start pressurizing, we open and we're good. Hey. Then it's time to leave. We want to exit. So now we need a timer block. Timer, rear, airlock, depressurization, progress. We close all the doors just to make sure they're closed. Then we depressurize on. And then we trigger, we start that. Let's reset this. Have a 2-second timer. It's probably not long enough, but okay, so now we're in here. Lights on solid, that means it's safe. From here we exit. Oh, we need to set that button up. Go button 2. So it doesn't matter, it's going to rename it. Is the depressurization in progress. Start. Here we say, boom. That didn't do what we wanted at all. Oh, it did. It just was really slow. But it didn't actually do what we want. That's not... That wasn't right. Let's enter. That's correct. What happened there? First, let's check the button, make sure we gave it the right thing. Button 2. Depressurization in progress. Well, first it needs to be trigger now, not start. That's part of the problem. They've been the whole problem. Look at that. Door closes. Depressurizing. Door opens. Okay. So we may have to fiddle with the amount of time, although we're, because we may not be able to collect all of the air, but that will work. And then when we're ready to come back in, back in. There we go. And then we're going to set the third button. The rear airlock vent. It's just going to be a toggle, so we can, if we have to like figure it out or do it manually, we can kind of manually do this process. So now what we're going to do is set up this button. And we actually need it to do the exit process, the depressurization. So, airlock, pressurization, trigger now. So let's say we enter. whatever reason, decided to leave out this way. So now we're back here. Now we're back here. We can see that our door is open, so we don't want to come in here, or we'll depressurize the whole ship. We're here. Boom. Now we can come in. Enter the rest of the way. Excellent. All right, now we want to set this up to essentially do the same thing. Let's say say that door's open. We need to get it closed, so we need to go through our pressurization process. So this screen needs some things on it. So let's set this up same kind of way. Next, edit text. So we're going to exit, because really all we need is exiting the ship. We could do the vent. Right? Is there any reason to... I guess we could call it slightly different. Just say enter. Maybe somebody's on the outside and we need to open the door for them. And we don't want to be in the airlock. We have visitors coming, and we don't want to be trapped in there with them because we don't know. Let's up this to 4. Seems to be about the right size. A little off, but close enough. Right aligned. So button 1 exits. So button 1 is going to pressurize the airlock. Let's... Oh, see you, Johnny. I appreciate you hanging out, man. I appreciate you chatting. I hope you make it back sometime. So let's pressurize for now. Button 2, we're going to pressurize. Now, button 3, we're going to get the vent. I'm going to toggle it. All right. So this would be fine, but let's say we want to let somebody in. Now we have this situation. But let's say now we want to leave. Exit. In. Exit. Leave. Good. Time to come back. And even if that door is closed, we in, enter, and enter. Nope. Nope, that light shouldn't be blinking. That light should just be on. Why is the light not right? like the blink interval is not moving correctly. If I just exit or enter a whole bunch here, see if we can like do what we need. That would be the issue because we're doing it out of order. That's the problem. I need enough exits. That could be an issue that we have to troubleshoot.
Energy low.
We may have to figure something out for that. That might be a... maybe an event controller to do it. It really doesn't give me an option to just look at something here. So we can turn it on off. We can't set any of these. We can just increase or decrease them. Yeah, but we may have to... that might be a troubleshoot later down the road. Honestly, I'm pretty happy that that even worked. Okay. We have that airlock functional. Let's get some stuff named here. There are no lights in the med bay. There are no lights in the med bay. No, we're just going to deal with that. I think we're going to set essentially all these corner lights to do all the same thing. Let's just pick one. Pick 16. We'll use this one because we can do it from here. Corner light. And we don't want... we want a yellowish light. Actually, it'd probably be better if I took the color changing glasses off. That would maybe help register what color we're doing. That maybe. I want to increase the radius. Large. Let's just grab that. And which one was that? It's not this one, not that one. That one right there? Yeah. Now there's a way. What was the command? Build. There you go. Build Vision gives you a way to copy settings. Copy. Y'all. Excellent. That's the other option. Would have been to just what I should have done and put them all in a group and change them all at the same time. Would also have probably been a better way to do this. And pushing the wrong keys. Good night. About time for me to take a break. Okay. Copy, paste. Yeah, that actually puts some light in here, which is good. Settings. Ooh. Settings. Paste. Yeah, it would have been much easier to do these all at once in the just by grouping them, but we're here now. Doorway there. Might put a light in here, maybe. There's actually a spot in there still that we have not put something, so we could. Here's the question. I wonder if it'll let us do doubles. It does. Sweet. I think that's all the lights. Let's see here. Good, we got all of them. So let's grab everything but the double. These are going to be the SW internal lights. Here, entrance. Right. And let's that so we don't need to see those on the list anymore. Okay. Could leave those there so I might look at them. It's not speed module 2, that's just a speed module. All just solar panels, we don't really care. Also don't need to see them. I don't need to group them because it doesn't matter. I could hide these tower blocks. They don't need to exist until I'm using them. Same with the event controllers. We will have use for them someday, but not right now. Just the assembler on the ship. Right now, let's hide those, so we don't really care. Some gyros. And well, actually, gyros 1 and 2, or nothing in 2. Thing we don't see them, so they're there. Rename this panel we did. That's the exterior button. If that's the case. We don't need to see these. They don't do anything. And that does that, but broadcast forever. Enter the ship name. On multiplayer, maybe we wouldn't want to do that, but we will lose our ship very quickly, so may as well do that. Don't need to see these couches. And we could do something like as soon as you sit on the couch, you can make things happen. Here. Don't need to see the speed module. I don't need to see the yield modules. Group all of these two gens together. That group actually just rename some of these. 2, 3, 6. Okay, that'll work. I don't think I want to see my inventory. I don't think. This is the med bay. That way, med bay vent. Just in case. Med bay. Bed. E panel. I guess we could even rename this to say midday. But at least we have one somewhere else. Okay. And this is the big door. Hinge. River. Let's change this to there we go. Now it shouldn't be able to move. Hinge lock is on. We have a bunch of braking torque that way more than it could ever need. Now, no matter what the speed is, it should be kind of stuck in that position. It's good. Assembler, pressure paint that conveyor block. Well, I guess we still have the stuff on us, so we may as well. Yep. Server room. Store. Order. Okay. Gravity generator. Load modules. That's all good. This bridge door. Bridge light. That as well over here, so we know if we ever have to. Might someday want to change those colors. Probably not, but you never know. These are all hallway lights. 6 of them. That's all we have left. So 8. Look, there's 2 more somewhere. Generally not sure where. Must be up here. Oh. These don't need a rename. I don't. There. Good. All fine. Couches don't need renamed. This light can be renamed. This is the observation deck light. Okay, that works. So there's one more light around here somewhere that didn't get renamed. It's not this. Bridge light. No, the med bay light. No, there's no med bay. Bridge server room. Observation deck. 2, 3, 4, 7. True. 3, 4, 5, 6. Where did I put this light? Oh, that one right there. Good. I'm a dummy. Now, let's actually name that. Your panel light or something like that. Not great, but not a great name for it. That will allow us to do is to rename all these to hallway lights. Those panel lights are actually the panel light is a thing, so that's why that's not a good name. Exit light, sure. That's at least a better name for it. All right. these. This door. Observation deck. This is the top exit exterior door. This is top exit interior door. What we might do is we might tie these doors to our pressurization depressurization process. That might be a thing to do. So if we do that, I think here. Close doors. Let's also close these doors. Hang on, this is the wrong. That was the wrong timer block. In process. That's fine. We trigger that first. Doesn't matter. Close. Nothing happens here. Close. Close. Then, when everything's pressurized, want to secure. Sure that's closed. We can open the interior because we're pressurized. And when we're depressurized, interior door should be the same way. Exterior door is open, interior door is closed. I think that's what we want. Now, the only problem with that is there are no buttons up here. And there's hatches and it's got a button, but there's nothing over here by the door. I'd say that we couldn't put a button here. We absolutely could. Like let's see what options we got. Interior plate, but we can put a whole like panel of buttons. Or we can put a singular button. pedestal. That actually has multiple buttons on it. That might not be a bad option. Here. Do we need more buttons?
Energy low.
I'm only ever going to do one thing. I think we only need one button. Let's grab materials for this. Want that one? I think we just want this one. Let's grab some energy real quick. Sit in the seat while we do this, so we can actually work on that button. SW. Up your button. It has one button. That's one thing. Want that one thing to be probably its own timer block. No, we just need to depressurize so that we can get in. So yeah, so we just do we need to do that. So let's say time to exit. Needed to come in this door. Oh, we could because it would already be open. Okay, so what if we let's think here. What situation are we in? Enter. Maybe we went out here. We still did this, that's fine. I think what I need is I need for this I don't know, maybe that's just not necessary. We're never in a position where we'll see. We might find some situation where we need to do this. Anytime we leave this through this door, we're going to lose a little bit of air though, just because we don't have a vent in here. But that's fine. And maybe this is where it's going to come in, because I want to do a timer block that closes our doors, just like we do on the base. actually, before we do that, let's group all of our doors together. Door. Best of you. And then let's do our interior doors. And our where's our top exit exterior door? No, just doors. Okay. Okay. Now let's do another timer block. Timer block. Timer. Close doors. Set of action. All doors closed. And then look at an event controller. Close doors. In the event that door opens, you're going to run the trigger now. Oh, start. And we're gonna give that like a just 4 second. We may have to change it to just the interior doors because that may mess up our airlock, but we'll see. All right. Either way, but I think it's 3 hours. I wasn't going to stream this late because I got to work tomorrow, but I go into the office tomorrow. But we did, so yeah, it happens. Sit in our seat. Put our blue ship. Color difference doesn't look as much in this light, so we may repaint some of that. Maybe make it a little more, extend out a little more. But yeah, that's okay. We got quite a bit kind of going on this. That was kind of the. Well, actually, we should. Lock. While we're not doing stuff with all the pieces, that way we can fill up on hydrogen and charge our power, all that stuff. Curiosity. Alright, oxygen tanks are finally all full. Hydrogen tanks are only at 6%. Places are at to essentially use up all our ice. That's why. Let's. Rename the ship. Set up the airlock. Connections to the base. Runs maybe. Or ice. What else did we need to do? Put up control panels. So we actually can fly the ship. So we need to set up this controls for that. I think that's everything off the top of my head, anyway. To do. We will need to extend the yeah, we can. We might need to extend the pistons out here. Piston. Do one of these. It's not extended that one. Let's. Go ahead and let it push out. Just give us a little bit of space. So we're looking at the ship. Yeah, I think we're good. I guess. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna kind of keep one more thinging it if I do this. So, yeah, we're gonna call it there. I appreciate everyone that came and hung out. Hope everybody had a good time. Wasn't too. This was kind of a tedious, not a lot going on, all administrative stuff, but we're getting a lot closer to being able to launch into space, and then we can kind of get into some more things. Get to space, we want to be able to capture a pirate ship, we want to build a fighter, and to go do that, and just all kinds of stuff. We'll look at doing an asteroid base, and then start making our way to the moon and next planets and get a jump drive. Just lots of stuff still to do, but we're real close now to taking off. Maybe even possibly by the end of next stream of this, we'll be able to take off, depending on how long it takes our ice to actually, no matter, we can steal all the hydrogen from the base, let it just make its own hydrogen. We don't really have to care when we come back here. So all right, well, I appreciate everybody hanging out. I hope everybody had a good time, and we will talk to everybody later.